I would like first to offer some general guidelines for Om choirs around the world, followed by the words of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother on Om, and then to share some of the experiences of various members of the Om choirs, and lastly to speak of lines I quote each week before we begin each Om, often from Savitri, but also from the writings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, to help raise our consciousness to its highest heights. In the future, I will also read excerpts from Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, and others on Om, also from the Upanishads. We will have a session of recorded exercises for Om choirs, preparatory to singing and receiving the new music. Mother gave us no roadmap of the new music, no instruction manual, but told us to sit in a circle and have no preconceived ideas of what might come down. As a frequent and intensive reading of Savitri can lead us to the overhead influence in the work of other poets, so too a deep and concentrated listening to music can sometimes reveal strains of the descent of the new music. Here is a portion of a letter from Annie, who is at the East-West Cultural Center in Los Angeles, a center devoted to the Mother and Sri Aurobindo, founded by Dr. Judith Tyberg, who was named Jyoti Priya by Sri Aurobindo. Annie writes, Mother said, "There is a new music just above the head, waiting to come down, and it is looking for the right instruments," meaning people, "to bring it down." She told us to begin singing, but with no preconceived ideas about how it would manifest. She also asked us not to use any instruments, just voices. We would sit in a circle. There were no words. One person would start singing, another would add something, and so forth. We experimented like this for a long time. Annie also writes, "It is a very wonderful thing that you have revived this activity that was encouraged so strongly by Mother more than 30 years back." The difficulty, as is often the case, is in the mind. No matter how high the inspiration of the greatest composers of earlier times, be it Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, or Sunil, we must take great care not to allow the mind to fall into already established patterns and repeat the music of the past, but open to that which is seeking to descend and establish itself on earth and in us. Mother gave us the seed sounds in her music, and Sunil took those up, expanding on those powerful melodies, and gave us a new music. Now the Om choir takes another step with the human voice alone. To be a collective instrument for the music to descend through us. The tendency towards harmonic resolution is very strong, and may be a greater sign of the aspiration for human unity than the thousands of books and treatises written on the subject in the long history of the race. We have heard on many occasions, even when the Om choir had nearly 50 or 60 or 70 or up to 100 people in attendance, that all dissonances, beautiful though they might be, tended towards harmonic resolution. A collective soaring of note, building upon note, chord upon chord, not unlike the architecture of the temples of India. Yet, even in the dissonances, there was an underlying harmony. Composed music is fixed unless improvisation is indicated. The music of the Om choir is fluid, ever-changing, as voice after voice opens to the divine melodies and harmonies above the head. Especially moving are the voices of young adults, with their purity of tone, blending with the richness of sound of elder sadhaks and sadhikas, many of whom sang to Mother many years ago and continue their music today. Especially important to me is to have the children join us. And we have seen recently children from the ages of 3 to 6 singing the Om with such intensity and concentration. They are our future and should be welcomed into all Om choirs. We begin by humming, so there can be no straining or injury to the vocal cords. And I will discuss more about this in the future. Humming also helps with the essential work of blending and uniting us as one sound. We work on the various parts of the body that are involved in singing, the position of the tongue, jaw, proper use of the diaphragm, and correct breathing so that there is no strain in the upper body. In the exercises DVD, we will go into each part of the body consciousness and how we train it as singers. I believe the most important realization of all Om choirs is to recognize that we are one body, one holy body, called to earth at this time to help bring down the new music of transformation in us and to heal and transform the earth. Although I have often said this in the Om choirs, I would like it to be on record today that in 1979, on my birthday, I went to Nolini. And I spoke to Nolini. I had sent him a letter, actually, a 2-page letter, single-spaced, on the difficulties Aurobindo was facing. And he answered that letter in detail. To make a long story short, he became very quiet. And then he pointed to my wife, Mary Helen, and he said, "Your body." Then he pointed to me, and he said, "And your body." And then he pointed to himself and said, "And my body." We think they are different bodies. They are not. They are all her body. She has put a part of herself into each of us, truly. One day, I pray that there will be Om choirs throughout the world, and we shall know the power of Om and its ability to transform. In the Om choir, there are no wrong notes, but we must go deeper and deeper to open to the descent of the new music. All are welcome, even those who have no voice or have difficulty hearing or reproducing a note. Formerly, I was very strict and allowed only those who could sing and wanted to help bring down the new music. But now, Mother has widened me, and the Om choir is open even to those who would like to sit in silence in its atmosphere and be immersed in the beauty and the power of the descent of the new music. The Om choir is not a venue for singers to show off the beauty of their voice or to show how loud they can sing. The Om choir is a collective prayer that these sacred bodies, called by the divine to play a role in the creation of the new world, may be used as instruments for the divine to send down the new music. For Om has the power of effectuation and can heal and transform and infuse the cells of the body with the new light and through the body into the earth. The new music is not a music of the East or West, and difficult though it may be, especially for musicians, we must break the mental modes of judgment of good or bad, dissonant or discordant, to allow the new music to sing us. I often say that through the centuries, music has been composed to the divine. Sing a new song to the divine. So many psalms and choral arrangements have been done. The Om choir is different. We are not singing to the divine. We are instruments to receive the transformative music from the divine through our human bodies. The mind has no capacity to judge the new music, and only the divine can know the sincerity of our collective aspiration. Even when we hear strong dissonances, they are only preparing the possibility of a greater harmony. In each Om, we sing something, and a new sound descends. So both the mind and the ego must be left outside the door. Focus, deep inner concentration, awareness of the soul to your right and to your left, and then extending your consciousness to include all assembled in the Om choir is the best way to achieve the deeper listening. We sing 3 Oms seated and the last Om standing, when the body is in the most receptive position. Lastly, what has come to me is the necessity of the inner listening, so that we may realize the unity that already is. This and the fact that I have experienced that the human soul always moves towards harmony. For more information on the new music, please visit the website sriaurobindoashram.info, where you can read a series of articles I have written over many years.